Please be seated. I would like to thank you for joining me today. Please excuse my casual dress as I just arrived back to the Oval Office from playing golf in the Hamptons with my dear friend Vladimir Putin. Vladimir and I had a really good time playing several rounds of golf there. During the flight on Air Force One, in my humble opinion, really the only way to travel, my Secretary of State, Stephen Goff, suggested I say a few words to the parents and students in Mr. Brooks's physical science and U.S. history classes. So here I am. I have known Mr. V, as I call him, for several years, and he is a very dedicated and engaging educational facilitator. Before entering the educational field, he worked for 13 years as a research and development chemist in the coatings industry. In fact, I have repeatedly asked him to join my administration many times, but he keeps telling me we don't make enough money in politics, so he'd rather stay in the educational field. With that said, I will get to the topic at hand. The areas of content covered in the physical science class are Newton's laws of motion, forms of energy, and Earth and space systems. The U.S. history class will cover post-Civil War America. Procedurally, both these classes will be very similar. Students will need a bound composition notebook, colored pencils, and a calculator. Many times a calculator on their phone will work just fine, and I believe for mathematics they need a TI-83 or so there. Grades will be calculated at 90% summative assessments and 10% class activities. Most classwork will be formative assessments, and formative assessments are those that are given to test knowledge, but they will not be graded. Summative assessments, those are the ones that are graded, which make up a vast majority of the grade, can be retaken. And many times these summative assessment retakes can be actually turned into some students would like to do them verbally, especially maybe for the second time or third time you're taking the test. The use of technology in class will be extensive. We will be using Google Drive, Moodle, other educational programs in the classroom, and it is expected that the students really work at trying to understand the basics of these programs. I will have to admit, Mr. Verxis and even myself as President of the United States, we are not all knowing when it comes to every computer program or educational piece of material out there. You know, we learn just as much from the students as they learn from us. Cell phones will be allowed in class for educational purposes. If we catch a student texting, let's put it away, or Mr. Verxis may have him put it on his desk or so forth. Both these classes will be flipped, blended learning classes. Lectures will be delivered via videos that are to be watched outside of class time. This allows time in the classroom for inquiry and individualized instruction. Notes on the lectures will be taken using the Cornell Interactive Notebook method, and this will be discussed with the students more in the classroom. Well, I see my time is about up, and the above topics will be covered in greater detail in their classes, and I know your students will experience a great year. Oh, I almost forgot. Mr. Goff, my Secretary of State, wanted me to end with this statement. Any resemblance to persons living or deceased is purely coincidental. Thank you, and God bless America.